Life changed forever at just 21 when she attended a party at the Playboy Mansion. Hugh Hefner was 60 years older than Crystal, but that night he picked her out of the crowd and she soon became one of his girlfriends. 4 years and many parties later, she became his wife and stayed by his side until he died in 2017.
Now, after years of silence, Crystal is exposing what life was really like in the mansion in a tell-all memoir, with claims she was abused and never in love with the Playboy legend. Crystal Hefner joins us now live from LA. Good morning to you. Well, you have revealed Hugh controlled every aspect of your life, from income to curfew, right down to your manicure. Is that right? What was that like?
It was hard. At first, I wanted to be exactly who he wanted me to be. So I conformed to what he wanted. But after a while, it just ate at my soul, and it wasn't who I really was. And that was hard.
Looking at the book, there was one passage that stood out. There were no doors I could lock because there were copies of every key, and Hef, of course, held the master key that ensured no one could ever lock him out. This was his world, and he held the key to everyone and everything. This sounds horrific and frightening, was it?
Yeah, I mean, he was the king of his castle, and he did have the keys to everything. There was nowhere you could have a true private moment. And in the book, I talk about, I got to the point where I felt paranoid that, you know, there'd be shadows under the door, and I felt people were watching me 24/7, and I guess they were.
Before he passed away, Hugh made you promise, did he, that to only say good things about the decade that you spent with him. Why did that change?
After I left the mansion, I had a lot of time away, and I did reflecting, like a lot of reflecting. And we have terms now that I didn't have then. You know, I didn't realize how much of a misogynistic environment it was. I didn't really understand that he was a narcissist. I didn't know that term until recently. I also didn't know what boundaries were until recently. So once I learned and realized it was horrible, I just thought I need to write a book and hopefully help other women. And I've had so many women reach out to me, so I think it's helping people so far.
So when you applied to go into the Playboy Mansion, what did you think it would be like?
I didn't know. Playboy is meant to be this place of freedom, and I would see these women in the magazines, and I thought, wow, they have the world at their feet. They're these beautiful women. I want to be part of it. And it's anything but free. You realize when you go there, it's Hugh Hefner's world, and you either conform to it or else.
Crystal, you still got the surname Hefner. Over those 10 years, did you try and get out? Did you consider leaving?
Yeah, at one point I did leave, and I ended up coming back. And I know, you know, at that time, Hef was so praised by the media. He was put on such a pedestal that I kept thinking, okay, maybe there's something wrong with me, and I need to, you know, make the most of it. And so I tried for so long, but now I know there's a reason why it was hard.
Will you change your name?
I want to. Yeah, I want to. I'm going back to school, and I hope to change my name.
Do you think... what do you say? Because you know there will be people critical of you, and I know there have been, saying, look, it was Hugh Hefner, it was Playboy. What did you think it was going to be like, and why didn't you just leave? What do you say to the critics?
Yeah, I think for people who appeared in the magazine, it was a lot different. But for his girlfriend and then his wife, it was just very, very controlling. And I should have left, and there was a time when I had plenty of money and I could have left, but I thought he needed me, and so I stayed there to the end. Maybe some type of Stockholm syndrome. I'm still unpacking that, but yeah.
Well, it's nice to hear you're doing well, and obviously writing this book was a big part of that, and hopefully not just yourself, but it can also heal people out there that have similar issues as you, and they can take something away from the book. Thanks for your time, Crystal, this morning.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks very much.